Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. Introducing one co-host with more nuggets than Chick-fil-A, Nick Morahan. Executive producer until we find someone better, Eric Washington. Nobody really knows what he does around here, Nevada Putnam. And now, the single greatest thing to happen to hosting in history, Jermaine Antonio Colon Mendez. On with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303, episode 268. That is correct. Yeah, we did two last week. I'm your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This is my co-host. As always, we have with us the executive producer, the EPE, and Nevada Putnam. Today's episode, we'll get into the recently growing Knicks Time Suck Parlay, and we'll give you the results from the last Knicks Time Suck Parlay. We'll get into head-to-head, pop culture pick'em, top 5 breakfast foods, and the blind 5, plus the two meat and potatoes of the pod is going to be the 2024 Olympics and the NFL divisional breakdown for the American Football Conference East. Without further ado, how are you doing this evening, Nevada?
I'm doing good. I'm soaking in this Nick Time Suck bank that keeps growing. So I'm quite excited about that.
I mean, we ain't hit yet. A little foreshadowing. But we always have a chance, baby. I love spending other people's money. You know what I mean? It fills my balls. How you doing this evening, Eric?
Doing good, man. What you just said is probably the motto for every girl I've ever dated. So thanks for bringing that. Thanks for bringing that up.
A little PTSD.
A little PTSD moment right there for me. Just love spending other people's money.
That's why I always take them to Taco Bell on the first, second, and third date, bro.
Taco Bell, huh?
You gotta set the standard low.
I mean,
never forget where you came from. Taco Bell used to treat us right, ladies.
So low and over impress.
Yeah, I've tried it the other way, where you go to nice places and then it blows up in your face, and you're like, "Why did I?" What was that? I saw something like a video, and it was like, "Oh, cost per nut."
Oh.
So this dude had a spreadsheet where he kept everything tracked, right? You know, and I'm a nerd, so I love me a good spreadsheet, as evidenced by our podcast. But he keeps track of the girl, right? The amount of dates they've gone on, the amount of money spent on those dates, and how many times he's nutted with that girl. And he comes up with, it's a nice little succinct algorithm. And that ends up giving you your CPN, better known as the cost per nut. And if the cost per nut exceeds a certain, threshold, it's no longer beneficial for you to be seeing that girl. And she gets cut from the rotation. And I implore the 10s and 10s to start implementing a cost per nut ratio in your life. And what you'll notice as you bring the cost down of your per nut, your happiness as a byproduct goes up. I don't know how I've noticed this. Maybe it's anecdotal, but as you guys start applying this to your life, feel free to chime in and let us know the results.
Life advice from the room. I like it.
Dude, it's the most absurd thing, cost per nut. So let's go ahead and get into this 2024 Olympics. Nevada, you want to kick us off?
Yes, sir. So just finished up the Olympics. Closing ceremony was today's Tuesday. It's a couple days ago.
Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday. Did you guys watch any of the closing ceremony?
I watched the stunt.
Oh, the stunt?
The stunt. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where that fat bald dude from Tropic Thunder jumps off the stadium.
Right, that one. The death-defying stunt.
Yeah. Better known as 5'5" Jack Reacher.
Yeah. Real quick before we dive into Paris, is anybody excited for? I know it's 4 years from now, but excited for it to be in LA? Excited for it to be back in the US?
I will say my Olympics excitement does not grow until it nears. Right. So like right now, it's as low as it's ever going to be. Like,
Yeah.
The Olympics just finished. I had my fill of volleyball, breakdancing, swimming, track and field, wrestling, boxing, basketball. And now I'm going to get back to my regularly scheduled programming, right? English Premier League kicks off here shortly. Maybe this week. Eric, can you confirm that for me?
Yeah. Okay.
And, college football right around the corner. Longhorns are expected to be good despite us not having a running back at the moment. So I'm back to regular sports right now. Is based on where it is. And you, Nevada, you excited for it?
It'll be nice for the TV schedule portion of it, not having to watch stuff at 6 a.m. I don't know. I'm not a big LA fan to begin with, but yeah, like you said, once it comes around here in another 4 years or 3 years and 11 months, yeah, I'll probably be excited for it.
Starts this Friday, August 16th.
This Friday, July 16th. I would love to get that month back, dog. Let's run it back, dude. It's week 33 of the year already. How does that make you feel, Nevada? Uncomfortable?
It makes me feel a little bit old. Damn.
All right, so like what takeaways do you have from the Olympics?
I got a handful. I got probably about 5 or 6 winners and losers from the Olympics, just running off the top of my head. If you guys have been living under a rock, the U.S. won the total medal count. They didn't win it. They blew the world out of the water. The U.S. had 126 total medals. Next closest was China at 91, both tied first for golds at 40.
And in order to tie, they gave our boy Noah Lyles COVID because it's a China disease.
Yeah, it was a Chinese conspiracy. So I'm just gonna rattle off a few winners from here. See if you guys anything spurs your guys' memory or thoughts. Ironically enough, even though it's still China's sweeping all the dives in table tennis, 13 for 13 on golds.
In diving and table tennis?
Yep, combined, 13 of 13.
New stereotype unlocked.
Yeah. I think early on, the American cyclist, the female cyclist, Kristen Faulkner, who came out of basically nowhere, the team was like, hey, do you want to run this race? Our supposed entry participants out. She's like, yeah, all right. Then she smashes it for gold, then gets team pursuit gold as well. Grant Foster on the track. He won bronze for the 10K and 5K. First American to medal in both. And I can't remember what the year was, but it's been decades.
Probably the 60s.
Yeah, probably so. LSU. The top guns from LSU's track and field teams. Did you guys see that stat at all?
I did not, but I know Shachari races there. The hurdler, I always forget her name.
Sydney.
Simone is the gymnast. I don't know what I'm doing over here. Sydney. Yeah, they all go to LSU, right?
Sydney's old enough; she'd be graduated. But the other one was the American-born Swedish pole vaulter, Mondo Duplantis. But Sherry and Mondo both crushing it. In particular, I had Duplantis, Ledecky, and then Sydney extending their own world records. If you look at their respective sports, the 400-meter hurdles for Sydney, Ledecky with the swimming, and then Duplantis for the pole vaulting. in the top 10 list, they are 1 through 10 in their respective sport. That's how far and away these people are.
They had the top 10.
Top 10 records in their respective sports.
So Ledecky is LSU?
No, I was just
just give me the stat. Got it. My bad.
Yeah.
I was what was the LSU stat though?
Oh, Shacheri blowing away the 100. And then was she on the 4x1 as well for the female?
Yeah, she was the anchor on the 4x1.
Yeah. Her and Mondo, just because they are the most recent LSU athletes to come out for the track and field. So those were the two most recent ones.
Okay.
I just saw today actually that Duplantis, he gets paid $100K every time he breaks the world record, his own world record.
Who's paying him this?
That's what I was trying to find out. I couldn't find it. I think it's the whoever puts on the competitions.
Probably BlackRock.
Yeah, if you break a world record at the competition, they give you a check. So the least amount I saw was like 30 or 35K. So he's easily
imagine.
Oh, I know.
I would love to once in my life get a $35,000 check.
Yeah, when it's the big one too, the 5-foot one that they give you that you
no
can't
way. I've always wanted.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to win one of those, man.
There's pictures of him holding those up.
The most impractical check in the world, but I want it, dog. I want it.
And then the Cuban wrestler, I'm gonna butcher his first name, Mijan Lopez. He's the only athlete in modern Olympic history to win 5 straight individual golds. And that dude is a tank.
Over like different Olympics or at the same Olympics?
5 Olympics. So
5 Olympics. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And what sport does he compete in? Wrestling?
Wrestling. Yep. So he won his 5th straight, retired, put the shoes on the mat. He's done, but what a way to cap off a career. Any thoughts for the winners for the Olympics? Anything else that didn't touch on right there? Anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it briefly at the beginning, but Noah Lyles running out before the 200, which is his bread and butter race, and jumping like a madman and springy. Also, he can jump his ass off. It's pretty impressive to watch in its own right. And then getting 3rd and then collapsing to the floor, asking for a wheelchair, putting on a mask, telling everyone he had COVID. And then there was videos of him at the club celebrating afterwards. It's almost like,
wow.
That dude I lost a lot of respect for that dude overall based on this last Olympics and this Olympics. And it's unfortunate because he does represent America and he won the fastest man. And I'm not even really celebrating that. Like,
right.
To me, who cares? I don't really care for the guy. Just the whole point of the Olympics or competition, right, is to lose with grace, right? If you're gonna win and be a showboat about it, at least lose with grace. And he couldn't even do that. And he basically, stole the spotlight away from a winner of mine, Botswana-born racer. I don't know if someone can get his name for me. The guy who won the 200 meter. I don't want to butcher it, so I'm not going to try it. But that guy won gold in that race, and nobody talked about it. It was the first gold medal in Botswana's history. On top of that, and like that moment was just completely zapped. Like we didn't get the opportunity to celebrate like that dude achieving his lifelong dream because we're talking about XYZ with an American-born Noah Lyles. Based on Eric's face, he's not going to say it for us.
Let's Sile Tebogo.
All right, that's not that bad.
And then the other one is Mijan.
Mijan?
Yeah.
All right. And then shout out Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico got 2 bronze. We got women's 100 meter hurdles.
Yep.
Camacho Quinn. And then in 65 kilos of wrestling, men's Rivera, he took the bronze, winning 10-9. So that was dope. Puerto Rico basketball team, 0 wins. Shout out my boys. Carlos Arroyo and JJ Barea would be proud.
Hey, they made it to the dance floor.
Right? Hey man, we just happy to be here, big fella.
yeah, exactly. So losers, you mentioned Noah Lyles in the 200 specifically. I don't think anybody would disagree with that and his whole theatrics with all that.
Yeah, it was just a disappointing way to carry yourself. Volleyball was disappointing across the board for the United States. I was pretty disappointed in our wrestling output for the United States. Some of our real good competitors, I saw, just absolutely blow it, right? So I guess overall losers would be expected gold, because you go in thinking like, hey, this person, we're probably going to get gold. This person, we're probably going to get this person. It's like, it doesn't end up happening.
And I have one that was the most obvious expected gold was the men 4x100 getting DQ'd on the first exchange.
Bro, how many Olympics in a row is this though?
It's got to be at least 3 out of the last 4. It seems.
It's like I think my pops told me like how many it was. I think it was like 5 that we've just completely shit the bed in the 4x100. It's like, how can we have the dude who wins the 100? Granted, he pulled out of the race because he didn't hit his double that he wanted to hit, so he pulled out of all the rest of his races. So we lost our anchor from the get-go. And they reshuffled the team. But still, it's like, if you're the anchor or you're the beginning, it's still the same baton handoff. Like, what are we doing, boys? How does the women look so good? Go ahead, Eric.
Since 1995, 11 dropped batons by the U.S. men's in the 4x1. And in Olympics and World Championships, 11 competitions they've dropped the baton.
95 kind of gave that away, although the 11 is ridiculous. Like,
they haven't medaled in the 4x100 since silver in 2004 in Athens.
So we haven't medaled in 20 years in the 4x100, and we always have.
We've won the 100.
Yeah, we've won the 100 meter. Yeah, and we have dudes who are in the final heat for the 100. We don't field just one guy. We field multiple guys in the final for the 100, and we just cannot work as a team. It's crazy.
And
Go ahead,
Eric.
I was just gonna say that race went Canada gold, South Africa silver, Great Britain bronze.
Can't lose to Great Britain, dude.
None of those countries should be up there.
But wait, what was the middle one?
South Africa.
South Africa should be there. They run real fast because of power thirst.
So many babies.
Power thirst.
I think you guys probably saw it, but Carl Lewis sent out a tweet where he was like, blow it up.
The system, yeah.
It is, something is screwed up. We have to blow it up and start from scratch because this is unacceptable. And I agree with him, because I ran track in high school, and it doesn't take that much training and practice to figure out how to pass a baton. And if you're a pro athlete at that level, you've probably done it a few times and know how to take care of it.
Who's the women's coach?
I have.
They just won the 4x100. What are we doing? Get that coach to do the other 4x100 as well. Like, what are we doing, boys? What are we doing?
It's wild. Oh, sorry, Jermaine.
I was going to submit 3v3 basketball for losers.
Oh, yeah. For the U.S. or just in general?
For the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll throw in general when I talk about the FIBA portion. So the head coach for the women's 4x100 is Latanya Sheffield. Excuse me, Latanya. We know you're a 303 listener. Please come coach the men's side.
She's also the head coach of men's and women's track and field at Long Beach State University. On top of her Olympics.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because the Olympics is every 4 years. Yeah.
I'm sold.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sold. I don't know how good Long Beach State
She
is.
already
But
coaches men, so she might as well just take over the men's team.
yeah, might as well. It's a no-brainer. But the 3v3 basketball, we had WNBA players, and they didn't win. And then we had me, you, Eric, and Nick suit up for the men's squad, and I got hurt, so we lost.
Oh, you're the Fredette of the group?
I'm the Fredette of the group. Come on now, if we're being honest.
18 shades too dark to be the Fredette of the group, dude.
Racist. And then as a whole, the 3v3, FIBA sucks. They won't let the FIBA gold medalists play the 3v3 Ice Cube's Big 3 League for $150,000. Like, how fucked up is that? It was an exhibition game. It was just at the All-Star contest. And they were like, well, the reason why is because the FIBA 3v3 tournament starts 3 or 4 days after that. And so the travel logistics and blah. Shut the fuck up.
I bet you Ice Cube would be fine to get you guys a PJ to get you wherever you need to get to back.
He already said he would. And then the thing is the Dutch gold medalists, they were all down to do it. They wanted to play that game. And FIBA won't let them. And the same thing happened to arguably the best 3v3 player in the world. He was trying to join the Ice Cube's Big 3 League in 2019. And the Olympics were in 2020. And FIBA blocked him, and they said, you won't be able to compete at the 2020 Olympics if you join that league. And he didn't join the league until 2021 because of that. So this is the second iteration of FIBA being pissed at Ice Cube. FIBA, nobody knows you exist in America.
I know. If you want to grow the sport, especially in the U.S., maybe take them up on a couple things here and there.
Bro, that's what's crazy is they're doing this with Ice Cube, and then you have Anthony Edwards, the face that they're pushing for the NBA. They're pushing him down our throats, right? Like all postseason, he was there. Olympics, he's there. And not saying it's not warranted or justified. I'm just saying, like, that's who they've chosen as their next guy because he's American. Instead of Giannis or Jokic or Wemby or Luka, they've chosen Anthony Edwards. And he comes out, they're like, so does this mean you're going to compete in the FIBA World Cup? And his response was, hell no. You have arguably one of the next biggest stars in the world in that sport, right? That profession saying, no, I don't want to compete at your shitty fucking contest. That's not a good look.
No.
I don't know. Maybe I'm on a soapbox here, but it's crazy to me.
When you have the biggest stars in the world, he's one of the biggest stars in the world, and he's talking against your organization. That's a bad look on your part. Like, you have to appease these guys for the league. And then we're talking about losers, and I just had to bring this up. The Olympic Committee, right? They're the losers. And not to get too into it because I know it's not a political show, but they clearly let a man win a gold medal in women's boxing. And that's just a fail on all levels by the Olympic Committee.
Well, they were born that way, though. Like, legitimately born that way. They didn't take hormones or anything like that. They were just born that way. So that one's a little more like, where are they supposed to compete?
One with XY, dude.
Where are they supposed to compete? They were born like that. They didn't do all this extra stuff.
You don't think so?
No,
not that part. You don't think that he can compete against men?
No chance. No chance.
But just dominate women.
He barely beat women.
All right.
And it's not a he, it's a she. Mm. And she has to pass.
That's the only Muslim woman I've ever seen getting her skin touched, showing her skin in public. So
she has to pass the actual hormone tests for it to be able to compete in women's sports. It's an unfortunate circumstance, and right now it's a touchy subject, and they should have understood that, and so they letting them compete. What did they medal as?
I don't know what talking about the weight class.
No. Did they gold, silver, bronze?
They golded.
They golded?
Yeah.
All right. What was the name of that person? Zanif, something like that?
So, yeah, something.
With a Z, right?
Something wild. Well.
Iman Khalif.
That's right.
Who also filed a harassment complaint against
I saw that.
Yeah.
Like the cyber bullies or something.
Cyber bullies and I don't know, something else.
Get off the internet. You can't be cyberbullied if you just get off the internet. Like I just defended that person, so I'm just saying I keep it 100. You cannot be cyberbullied. Like that is the silliest thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't know.
It's a soft new world.
You can't get bullied if it's something you can turn off. You couldn't turn off the dude shoving you in your locker back in the 80s and 90s. You could turn off the computer and walk away.
You can also block the people, like block mentions, go private. Like you can 100% not see anyone talking shit about you if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
What a soft new world. This is why World War III is happening, because people need to toughen up again.
Yeah. A couple more losers for me overall. The U.S. women's water polo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't say necessarily that they were necessarily the gold favorite, but they are up there, kind of like the women's soccer. They're, if not the favorite, they're up there.
For sure.
They usually do pretty well. So that was disappointing.
They didn't even medal.
No. Speaking of not medaling, Caleb Dressel. I know he was the defending. I want to say he was the back-to-back defending gold medalist in his, I can't remember if it was 100 or 200 race. He didn't even get to the semis.
And that's in swimming?
Swimming.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Do
you got any winners on that negative piece of paper in front of you?
No. My last one is Quincy Wilson, the high school sophomore phenom sprinter.
He's a loser for competing at 16 now.
That's why I preface it with he's a phenom. He deserved to be there, but his performance in the 4x4 was terrible, absolutely terrible. The U.S. barely snuck into that race or into the finals.
We got no winners from Nevada.
Well, like I said, I had winners and I had losers. I went winners first. Now I'm hammering people on the losers. That being said, they're all Olympians. They're way better than me, but
that's I mean, for sure. Shout out our legacy competitors, Katie Ledecky, Simone Biles. Noah Lyles, Shachari, all of them holding it down. But the medal gap is closing as far as gold goes. And we sat here 2 weeks ago saying that golds are more important. So we won by 1 the year before. We tied this year. So next year it should be we should lose by 1? Not next year, 4 years from now. You guys got anything else for the Olympics?
Did we talk about Ray Gun?
Ray Gun?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the internet's talked about it.
And how they've removed breakdancing from the 2028 Olympics.
Ray Gunn is the chick who the Australian chick. I never watched any of those videos.
I don't even want to clown on her or call her a loser or anything like that, because she went out there, put herself on the line. It takes a lot of balls.
She looked like she had a blast from what I saw.
But I am going to say the losers are the people around her who encourage that behavior. We're like, yeah, go do it, because that was there's a difference between being like a good friend and then just encouraging somebody blindly, calling yoururself a good friend. Like you gotta let somebody know sometimes, hey dog, that's not a good look. But
dog, if I'm going to the Olympics and I suck at the sport, you better gas me up, dog. I'm at the Olympics, my guy. Like, I don't care if I medal. I made it to the Olympics.
Once you get there and you're competing, I'm all in, dude.
Oh, do the Noah Lyles and get the COVID and don't compete? Just say I made it to the Olympics.
Let's not talk about Noah Lyles. Fucking pussy.
I will say, as far as the loser for the Olympics and breakdancing, who decided to bring breakdancing into the Olympics?
It's a huge sport in Paris, so usually. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I get that, because they mentioned that. That's why some people are trying to say that's why breakdancing was in there, because every time they go somewhere, they try to bring a sport that's big in that region or city or something.
They should have done parkour.
Thank you. That I would have watched that all day long over breakdancing, hands down.
Parkour is so big in France.
As long as they yell parkour.
Hardcore.
No. You have to yell hardcore parkour.
Yeah, you gotta yell it, dude. If they don't, that's an automatic disqualification.
What if before they instead of blasting the gun, it's some announcer going 3, 2, one. Hardcore parkour. That guy goes off.
So is that why they're going to have the flag football in 28?
Yeah, probably. They already announced breakdancing isn't at the 28 Olympics.
And baseball, right?
So, baseball is coming back because of the World Baseball Classic. So,
Okay.
I don't know how MLB is gonna. I don't imagine Major League Baseball players are gonna compete. I wish they would. Like a Christmas World Series would be wild if we took like a month and a half off, right? Just like every 4 years we had like a Christmas World Series.
In the peak of football and basketball season, we get peak playoffs.
Do we get NBA Cup, we get playoff race for the National Football League, and then you get the World Series, and then the Winter Classic for NHL at the same time is around that time.
Dude, that'd be sick.
I would just love to see it because the World Baseball Classic is phenomenal. Like I've always loved the World Baseball Classic. Maybe it's a byproduct of Puerto Rico being on that stage, right? So like it was easier to root for it as a kid, but no, it was awesome. Baseball is awesome, and to see it back in the Olympics would be tight. I don't know how the MLB will handle that though. So what you could do is take that time off, but host the games at Major League Baseball stadiums. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, Manfred. You can take my idea. We know you listen. Shout out to Manfred Mafia. Whoop, whoop. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into head-to-head here.
All right. Last week was week 32. Jermaine went 2-1, hitting a couple mixed parlays in an MLB parlay, putting him at 23 and 73, down 16.96 units. Nick went 0-3, putting him at 11.84-1, down 40.42 units. Nevada went 0-3, putting him at 28 and 68, down 23.62 units. And then I went 1-2, putting me at 26 and 70, down 1.67 units.
I'm coming, boys. I'm coming. I just want to let y'all motherfuckers know. I'm coming.
We all had a big parlay that missed by one thing this week. Minus Nick.
Cold-blooded. So that basketball parlay I put in missed, right?
Yeah, it missed because I believe it was Ant didn't have the 12 points.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I forgot I sent that one because I sent 3 more bets the other day. So I'm glad you just dropped the last one I sent.
Did it hit?
I don't know.
Oh, well, the other 2 hit, so I did you a favor.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and get into the pop culture pick'em.
Let me switch it over. We're down for the count today. We're down 1. I mean.
Yep.
Oh boy. All right. So pop culture pick'em today. Top 5 breakfast foods. It's gonna go Nevada, Jermaine, and then myself.
Yeah, sorry, I'm fixing this on the fly. So,
No
but Nevada.
Yeah, 101. I gotta go with bacon.
Yeah. He would have been a heavy judge if he didn't go bacon there.
Yeah, I think you could pair any sort of breakfast food with bacon, and you'd be like, yeah, that sounds good.
Oh no, bacon doesn't make my list.
It's because you're a communist.
I don't know why, but I just never been on the bacon hype train. I know I'm the exception because for a while there they had.
Damn, he's got his one bet today's longer than the whole thing last time.
sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that we got interrupted because Nick has a situation, and he just told us what the amount to put on the Knicks at Time Suck Parlay, and it's just a comical number for one day. He won't be joining us though. No, just bacon. The atomic symbol BACON, like they. Have you seen that atomic symbol shirt of bacon? No, it's like the periodic table of elements, but BACon spells out bacon. Anyways, that's how I knew bacon was a big deal. I'm gonna go first pick here. I'll go breakfast burrito.
Damn.
I knew it wouldn't get back to me, so
Whoops.
that wasn't like my true first pick, but I needed to make sure I got breakfast burrito.
Solid pick. Probably the go-to breakfast for anybody. It should be everybody's go-to breakfast.
It's
all
just
wrapped up,
imagine
on the go.
your breakfast in a nice portable container.
And if you find yourself a decent salsa, that doesn't hurt
Oh.
too much.
Yeah.
Just a decent. You don't even need a good one.
So this is gonna be super generic, but it's still a banger for breakfast or late night munchies. But cereal, I don't care. It's just number one for me. And then after that,
hot or cold? Both.
Cereal,
Both.
cold. Isn't hot cereal like oatmeal?
Oatmeal, grits.
No, yeah, we're going cold cereal. In fact, I'll put cold just to make sure that we.
I just like to mess with people and say hot or cold. Everyone I talk to is talking about cold cereal because nobody calls oatmeal cereal.
Yeah,
but
it's just oatmeal. Or
it's
grits.
really what it is. That's what cracks me up.
All right. And then I'm gonna go French toast.
Damn.
Sneaky.
Was hoping French toast would get back to me, but I knew I had to pick one of the two. It didn't get to me. I'm gonna take one that I don't think will get back to me now. I'm taking biscuits and gravy.
Oh yeah, that's solid right there.
Only if it's British though.
Get out of here, Southern bro. I need to thick like my Latin women,
Still
dog.
my favorite video online. That kid was like, if my mom ever makes me biscuits and gravy again, and it's not like this, I'm gonna slap her. That British kid, they gave him Southern,
I haven't seen it,
Southern
but
Comfort
I could
biscuits and
imagine.
gravy, and all these British kids were just like losing their shit. And this one kid just sits back and he goes, like, licks his lips and he goes, "If my mom ever makes me our British biscuits and gravy, I'll slap her." I was like, God dang.
Dude, British people, their food must really suck. I've had some of it. It's not good. But for all the videos I see of British people trying other food, it cracks me up. They must have been deprived.
I like how you guys got like actual, like entree breakfast stuff, and I just have bacon sitting there.
It's the key ingredient in almost any good breakfast stuff. So
not
all right.
Very true.
For the next one, I'll get a little bit more entree related. I'll go with like a skillet. Good skillet.
Oh my goodness, my list is dwindling. I agree. Fire choices, boys.
And then I could do the cop out and just say eggs, but I'll go with a specific set of eggs. I'll go sunny side eggs, or bloody as I used to call them, bloody eggs.
Yeah, please don't call that around me. That sounds gross. I'll take, so let's see, I'm sitting here. Things are flying off the list. Let me go ahead and get boy. I'll take chicken and waffles.
Oh, I was just thinking of that too. Damn.
I love me some chicken and waffles, bro.
Chicken and waffles.
Do you go standard chicken? Standard chicken or like Nashville hot chicken?
Nashville hot.
I would prefer hot. Usually I lean spicy. And then Eric, you were asking about type of chicken. I don't like the tenders. I usually like legit fried chicken.
No. I was saying like the thing about chicken and waffles to me is it's either here like holy crap this is good, or just down here like this is dog water. Like there's no mediocre. There's like no in between for me. Like you either have really good chicken and waffles, or you just don't do it well.
It's the opposite of chicken tenders. There's no such thing as a great chicken tender or a bad chicken tender. There's just chicken tenders
that are like wonderful at chicken nuggets, but they suck at chicken tenders. It makes no sense.
That's true. I had Raising Cane's again for like the first time in a while, and this weekend I get it. I forgot how good Raising Cane's was, bro. God, those tenders. Let's go get it again. Run it back.
Hey, Mozzie's still here for a while. We got to make it down there to IB again.
No chance.
For my next one, I'm going to keep with the French thing, and I'm going to go crepes or crepes, whatever you want to say.
Smoking a pancake.
And then for my fourth pick on the turnaround, I'm going to go Surprisingly, I'm gonna go granola, fruit, and yogurt.
Damn. Yogurt parfait, dude. Give me chicken fried steak.
Solid.
Did you grow up in the South or something?
I'm from Texas, bro.
I'm just saying.
I got a heat list, boys. Just saying.
I'm gonna go. Let's see. Next one, I'll go with huevos rancheros.
Oh, that's a good choice. Oh, I know what I want now. I'm gonna put that as my last pick, dude.
Oh, let's see. I got the turn.
Just don't pick what I thought of right now, Nevada.
I probably won't. I'll probably just go with
Well, let me text you Nevada. No,
okay. Oh.
What? Text him, or drop it in chat. Let's see if you guessed it right.
I don't know how to spell it, but
Bro, you are Hispanic. That is correct. How do you not know how to spell that, big fella?
I think I got it right though.
I couldn't say that. I guarantee that. I'd butcher that. I'll say that for Jermaine, but I'll butcher the hell out of that.
No, dude, it's you doubled up L's both times. It's single L's.
For both of them?
For both of them.
Oh yeah, it's Spanish.
Sorry, go ahead, Nevada. We've derailed your fifth pick.
No, that's right. I'm just looking at that thing, just shooting darts right into my face. I'll just go with some classic maple syrup pancakes.
Ooh, with butter?
Yep.
Just go pancakes.
You throw that butter in between the stacks so they melt while you're going to town.
We're still talking about pancakes?
Well, you know, butter does a lot of good stuff in the world.
Go ahead, put me down, Eric. Give me those chilaquiles, dude. I fuck with chilaquiles. I like the way my dad makes them because he makes them like egg pizza almost. But, you know, regular chilaquiles are good.
No, you know what chilaquiles are?
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, nice.
It's basically breakfast nachos.
Yes.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go breakfast sandwich, like the croissant with
I was shocked it didn't get picked sooner.
egg and sausage.
Everyone loves a good breakfast sandwich.
Or a McGriddle.
The McGriddles, I used to gangbang and say they were not good. Then I got a little bit older and I was like, oh, these are actually pretty good.
McGriddles with the syrup in them, fire.
I used to, when I was in the Navy, if I needed to get breakfast before I went, I would just order just the pancakes, no nothing in the middle, no eggs, no sausage, no bacon,
just the McGriddle,
just the McGriddle.
McGriddle buns.
Yeah.
I think there's one glaring item missing, but I want your guys. I purposely did not pick it because I'm not a fan of it. But omelets.
Yeah, I agree. My dad, that would have been 1A, 1B, and 1C for my dad. The man loves himself an omelet.
Let's just. I tried to get into them, but I can't. I think it's too much egg for me. Sometimes you get them where they're just like there's so much egg in there. It just kind of loses its pizzazz. But I just thought of a solid honorable mention: cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, that's on my list. That was going to be number 5 for me, but I switched it to chilaquiles.
All right.
So I agree with you on that one. Honorable mention, I'll do home fries or country potatoes.
Yep.
A smoothie and a bagel.
Bagels are awesome.
I really do like bagels.
Cream cheese. Hell yeah.
I mean, I think really we could probably all agree that the best breakfast food is probably like leftovers, particularly like leftover pizza or something. Leftovers for breakfast. Woo.
Man, I've been having this meatloaf hash at Fig Tree Cafe lately, dude. It's basically a skillet, like a meatloaf egg skillet, but it's
Enough said.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. All right, let's move forward here. Let's get into blind 5, Nevada.
All right, boys.
Or we could I can hit you with an inverse blind 5 and make you and Eric do the list.
Ooh. Well, if you got one.
I can make it up right now. First pick. Ready? Ken Griffey Jr.
Is this going to be sons of famous athletes?
I'm gonna do what Nevada does. Mum is the word until the end.
Players that were great but had shorter careers because of injuries. I would probably put him at like 2 or 3, dude.
Yeah, I was thinking probably 2.
Yeah, he was pretty impactful.
Yeah.
All right, Ken Griffey Jr., number 2. All right, let's do Steven Strasburg.
I would go.
Was Ken Griffey number 1 overall? Let's see, Ken Griffey Jr.
I think it's players that started off hot but got injured or something. I would put him at 5 just because fuck the Nationals.
Careers derailed by injuries.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
I don't know how to spell Steven Strasburg though.
Close enough.
Yeah, so both are 1.01s,
Ooh.
but both have been
Derailed by
careers.
injuries.
Yeah, dude, if Greg Oden's on this list,
Number 1 picks whose careers are derailed by injuries.
yeah, what'd you say? 4?
I said 4 or 5, honestly.
Yeah, I'll go 4.
So you go 4. So we're going 4 with Steven Strasburg.
Yeah.
Put him a 5. Give me 1 second. Command X. Command B. All right. Derrick Rose.
5.
5.
Just to spite Jermaine, 5. I wouldn't honestly put him at 5. He'd probably be with the rankings as is. I'd go 3 Nevada, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I could go either way. You're the basketball guy. I'll let you pick him at 3 or 5.
Let's put 3. 5 would be disrespectful.
All right. Derrick Rose is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Oden.
5 for me.
He never had the chance to let his career really take off, so he's got to be at 5. At least the other 3 had, solid careers or stretches of.
Yeah, one won an MVP, one won a World Series. Ken Griffey's the reason all kids wear their baseball caps backwards.
Prettiest swing in all of baseball.
Yeah. Greg Oden's just a guy. He's going to hit us with some bullshit here on the one. He's Googling it, dude. Look at him.
Yeah, he's trying to find a bad one.
Who's that one dude from that one linebacker that was all – probably wasn't the number 1 pick, though. From the Chargers, I think it was. There's a documentary. Chad Bosworth or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah, Boz.
And Carson Wentz.
Yeah, of course.
Number 1. That could have been number 5.
Although his career ain't over.
Yeah, he's back in the World Series, the Super Bowl this year.
He does have a Super Bowl.
Dude was an MVP before his knee went.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a 5th number 1 whose career was derailed by injury, but I couldn't think of it. So I just went with Carson Wentz.
Derrick Rose was number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if he was.
After that Memphis run, there was no way he wasn't going number 1.
I mean, youngest MVP on top of that.
Oh, I'm trying to think of another number 1 pick whose career went.
Yeah, if you guys have another one, I just went with Carson Wentz because he was number 2. So basically, it's top 2 picks who were derailed by injury. You guys said it already.
By injury specifically.
Oh, dude. Hold on. I messed up.
Ben Simmons.
No, dude. Forget Ben Simmons. He ain't making it on my list. Fuck that guy.
I'd say Neil Yakupov, but I don't think his was injuries. I think his was he just never figured it out in the NHL.
Was Mike Trout drafted 101?
No, I don't think so. I think he was I'm going to be so wrong. 12th?
20th.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, I was gonna do. I was just originally doing players who were because I was gonna do like Grant Hill, Steve Nash, players like that, like players who got hurt and that derailed their careers. But then you guys pointed out I picked number one picks, so then I tried to do number one picks on the fly and failed miserably.
I mean, you got it. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I know. I was, but I couldn't pull a fifth one from my hat. I just got derailed. All right, that wraps up the last of the opening topics. We'll go ahead and get into our 2024 NFL Futures series here. We don't have Nick's picks, so we'll go ahead and.
Oh, he didn't text them.
You want to read the finishes to us, Eric?
Yeah. So last year, Buffalo finished first, 11-6. Miami finished second, 11-6. The New York Jets finished third, 7-10. And New England finished fourth, which made everybody in America happy at 4-13.
Till they drafted Drake May.
Yeah.
We'll see. He has to pan out first. All right. So that was the order of how they finished. We'll go ahead and go with the order of how they're ranked right now on DraftKings for the futures. We'll start with the Buffalo Bills, who had Kyle Allen depart for the Steelers. Running back Damian Harris retired. Then you have Latavius Murray, Shaq Lawson, Linval Joseph, and Micah Hyde, all still free agents. Gabe Davis joined the Jaguars. Stephon Diggs was traded to the Texans. Deontay Hardy joined the Ravens. Trent Sherfield joined the Vikings. Ryan Bates was traded to the Bears. Mitch Morse joined the Jaguars. Leonard Floyd joined the 49ers. Poona Ford joined the Chargers. Jordan Phillips joined the Giants. Tim Settle joined the Texans. Tyrell Dotson joined the Seahawks. Dane Jackson joined the Panthers. Tre'Davious White joined the Rams. Jordan Poyer joined the Dolphins. And Saron Neal also joined the Dolphins. Free agent acquisitions for the Buffalo Bills are as follows. Mitchell Trubisky came in to back him up. They signed wide receivers Chase Claypool, now retired, Matt Collins, Curtis Samuel, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Oh, wait, he's not retired. He's just out for the season. Basically retired. They signed tackles Lyle Collins and Dion Dawkins. They added guard David Edwards, center Will Clapp. They added edges AJ Epinesa, Dwayne Smoot, such a fun name, Casey Toohill. They added D tackles Austin Johnson and Daquan Jones. D linemen Jordan Phillips and Deshaun Williams joined the squad. Linebackers Deion Jones and Nicholas Morrow. Cornerbacks Taron Johnson and Cam Lewis, and safeties Mike Edwards and Taylor Rapp.
All right. So Buffalo, Super Bowl odds plus 1,500. To win the division plus 170. To make the playoffs is minus 175. To miss it is plus 140. Their line has been set at 10.5. And I do have their schedule pulled up here. So they open up at home against Arizona, on the road against Miami, at home against Jacksonville. 3 road games, Baltimore, Houston, and the Jets. At home versus Tennessee, away versus Seattle, at home versus Miami, away versus Indianapolis. 2 home games, Kansas City and San Francisco, followed by 2 road games, the Rams and Detroit, 2 home games, New England, and then the Jets, and then they close out on the road in New England.
Sheesh.
That's a crazy schedule.
All right. Nevada, you want to kick us off on this?
Sure thing. Buffalo was the first city to have electricity lights in its streets. So
wait. Buffalo is the first city to have city lights? Like the ones?
Yeah, powered by electricity.
Oh, powered by electricity. I was like the ones that Ma told us to be home before.
Yeah, get home before those street lamps come on. Okay. As you probably heard, especially was at here week 4, 5, 6. Sounds brutal. In Baltimore, in Houston, and then in the Meadowland visiting the Jets. Their schedule is brutal. I think talent-wise, they definitely took a step back, getting rid of Stephon Diggs. Their receivers, I don't know who's going to end up being the number one. They may not have a number one. Obviously, they drafted Keon Coleman, but remains to be seen if he's going to be a number one. I don't know if that might take a year or two for him to pop up. Another year for Dalton Kincaid. There's some rumors swirling around that they may try to trade Dawson Knox here before the preseason's out.
Really? I haven't heard that.
Yeah, there was a couple teams, nothing big or concrete, but I think it's probably more just insiders being like, well, they could move so-and-so for Dawson Knox or something like that, because it's kind of one of those guys where you don't want to cut him. You want to try to get something out of him. But who knows? They could very well keep him as well. They're going to need all the help they can get. Offensive line still is good. Defense is going to be one of their calling cards. I'm not super thrilled about Buffalo this year. Between the schedule and, at least on paper, they're set back on talent. I have them under 10.5. No to win the division. Maybe playoffs. I'd have to look to see how many AFC teams I got, but I'll put them right on the edge of playoffs right now until I figure out if I need more teams from the East.
You only have 3 so far from the AFC. You have Baltimore, Cincinnati, Kansas City, and that's it.
So, and it's 7.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
2 divisions to get 4.
I'll go playoffs for the Bills.
Cool.
Man, that 10.5 line is crazy good. It's a real good line. Look, this stretch of ball games is pretty crazy to me. After Nevada pointed out that 3 road game stretch of Ravens, Texans, Jets, which could all be L's, they go home to the Dolphins, away to the Colts, home to the Chiefs, home to the 49ers, away to the Rams, away to the Lions, and then they go Patriots, Jets, Patriots. But that's a brutal stretch right there. Dolphins, Colts, Chiefs, 49ers, Rams, Lions. That's a 6-game stretch of just my goodness. I'm actually with Nevada. I'm fading the Bills this season, and nobody should be surprised. I faded them last season, and then they made me eat my words. So this year, though, I'm getting them back. I'm going under 10.5. No to make the playoffs, no to win the division, and no to win the Super Bowl.
Nice.
I think Josh Allen will have an MVP caliber season, so I may sprinkle a little pizza money on Josh Allen to win MVP. And I know that sounds contrary to, because you're not giving MVP to someone who doesn't win it, but he's by himself there. It's like him and James Cook. This feels very much like Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, except the quarterback's good and the running back is not as good. So I see a 9-8 team in this Buffalo Bills future. I wonder what the odds are for Josh Allen MVP. I don't have DraftKings up. Let me put that up. But
I wasn't including MVPs or defensive players of the years in our player props because I figured on the last one we would do.
We have an episode for that. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I figured we would do that.
Yeah, I was just curious since I'm talking about the Bills right now.
Yeah, I'd say
I'm also
MVP
filibustering for
plus
Nick,
1,000.
so here I'm going to add Nick.
That's my guess.
MVPs plus 1,000.
That's my guess. Probably even higher.
Well, hey, Pookums.
Hey, everybody.
How's that nap?
Sure, nap. Yeah.
Oh, sounded shitty.
Yeah, pretty shitty. Yep.
Would you like to tell the people, the listeners, the 10s and 10s, how large the Knicks and Time Suck Parlay is now?
Well, in one night, we've already gotten up to 72 minutes. So that's good. Also, in completely unrelated news, I'm selling my dog. So really, and selling is a very, very loose term. I'm giving him away. And if you guys think this is a joke, I'm not lying. My father gets first pick at him, and after that, he's going to the glue factory if nobody picks him up. It's sort of like a roster move. I don't care what happens after I cut him. And by cut him, I mean cut him off the leash on a walk very far away from my house. So I hope everybody is doing great. Let's get to these. Let's get to the New York Jets, everybody.
No, you want to give us your Buffalo Bills?
The Buffalo Bills will go under 10.5.
Oh,
they will.
Oh, man.
You know what? They will not make the playoffs.
Oh shit!
They will, and they're not winning the division, and they're not going to win the Super Bowl. But I do like what Jermaine said, a little bit of pizza money on Josh Allen MVP. It feels like one of those years where Josh Allen literally does everything and the Bills still can't win.
Everyone's going to put some respect on his 4,300, 4,400 passing yards and 800 rushing yards. And the fact that the man throws for 30 touchdowns and rushes for double digits. Finally, because for some reason Lamar does it. He does it less passing yards, less passing touchdowns, more rushing yards, less rushing touchdowns, and he gets all the glory, and Josh Allen does not.
And they're going to lose every game 41-35.
Their safeties are a question mark. I don't know where the pass rush is coming from. Hopefully Von Miller can return to strength. The Buffalo Bills have a lot of question marks, and for the same reasons I faded them last year, I agree with Nick, which means my bets won't hit. Very next team that the DraftKings have ranked is the New York Jets. So we'll go ahead and get into the departure for the Jets is Trevor Siemian, Randall Cobb, Corey Davis, Dwayne Brown, Billy Turner, Connor McGovern, Carl Lawson, Al Woods are all free agents still. Brett Ripien joined the Bears and Zach Wilson joined the Broncos. Tight end CJ Uzomah joined the Eagles. Offensive tackle Mekhi Becton joined the Eagles. God, if they fix him, that's going to be a fucking steal. Laken Tomlinson joined the Seahawks. Edge Bryce Huff also joined the Eagles. D lineman John Franklin Myers traded to Broncos. Quentin Jefferson joined the Browns, and Bryce Hall, the cornerback, and Jordan Whitehead joined the Buccaneers. Yeah, that's a good catch, Nevada. We'll get that before we wrap up. Additions for the New York Jets. They added Tyrod Taylor and wide receiver Mike Williams, offensive lineman John Simpson, tackle Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith, D linemen's Lecky Fotu and Javon Kinlaw, edge Hassan Reddick, acquired in a trade with the Eagles. Not looking so great right now. Solomon Thomas re-signed. Cornerback Isaiah Oliver joined the team. Safeties Chuck Clark and Ashton Davis, as well as kicker Greg Zerline and punter Thomas Morstead.
The Jets went third last year, 7-10. This year, their Super Bowl odds are plus 2,000. To win the division is plus 190. To make the playoffs is minus 160. To miss it is 135, plus 135. And their over-under is set at 9.5. Nick, let me get the schedule pulled up.
Yeah.
I got it right here.
Oh,
all right, go ahead, Nevada.
Sweet.
They open up in San Fran.
They're taking our jobs.
Then they head over, play Titans week 2. Then they got 3 home games, the Patriots and the Broncos. They head over to Minnesota. Then they're home against the Bills, in Pittsburgh, in New England. Then they're home for the Texans. Then they're in Arizona. Then they come back home for the Colts, a week 12 bye. Then they're at home for Seattle. Then they have a trip to Florida against the Dolphins and then the Jags, home against the Rams, in Buffalo, and finish off at home against Dolphins.
What an end. Dolphins, Jags, Rams, Bills, Dolphins. Whew. Okay. All right. So, Nevada, you want to go ahead and go first?
Sure thing. This is still a pretty good fact, though. Would you guys like to guess what the first item sent to the New York Post Office pneumatic tube system was?
Dildo.
Anthrax.
A live cat.
Ha! Because they can get out of it.
That's a hell of a test for the first item.
Yeah.
We're just
Nick?
starting with living creatures.
Nick, you want to talk to them, see what they can do for Kane?
That's a yeah. We can chop them up into as many little pieces as they need to.
obviously, I think we can all agree the Jets season hinges on Aaron Rodgers' soft tissues staying together in one piece. Their schedule, looking at it first glance, seems fairly reasonable until you get towards the end, like Jermaine said, with those last 5-6 games. It's kind of a roller coaster of a schedule back and forth with not easy opponents. My questions, particularly for the offense, who do you have outside of Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall? I know we said Mike Williams, but he's always an injury-prone guy. Can you guys name another wide receiver on the Jets?
Randall Cobb probably as of week 3.
He'll get signed in week 3. Well, Mike Williams joined.
Right. So we got Mike and Garrett Wilson.
And sorry, you said Mike. No, he joined the Bills.
That's another good Aaron Rodgers wide receiver that he brings with him everywhere. MVS.
Tyler Conklin is a tight end. Malachi Corley is the rookie they drafted this year out of the draft. They have Jason Brownlee, last year's training camp stud, and they have Tashawn Gibson, player kind of flash on the field during the regular season, despite Zach Wilson's best efforts. And then they also have a running back named Braylon Allen they drafted this year, who is not even 21 years old and is a hulking behemoth.
From Wisconsin, right?
From Wisconsin. That is correct, yeah.
All right, well, nice
also,
of you to
Aaron Rodgers has he ever really had like a top-tier name wide receiver? Like
Devontae?
Besides Devontae.
Jordy Nelson?
Jordy's all right.
Greg Jennings?
No, Greg Jennings is all right, too.
He put the team on his back, Eric.
He broke his leg, dude.
I'm so glad Nick is with me on that one. All right, so Nevada, give us your finish for the New York Jets.
Yeah, I think they'll do – well, they got to do better than last year. As long as Aaron's soft tissue stay in place. I will go – man. I'll go under 9.5. Yes to make the playoffs. No to win the division. No to win the Super Bowl.
Nick?
Yeah, I mean, this team went 7-10 with Zach Wilson as its quarterback, and every single week we heard there was a new controversy out of New York, and there were so many leaks in this New York Jets boat, or this New York Jets jet, that it should have crashed. The fact that I can get Aaron Rodgers only needs to win 3 more games than Zach Wilson did last year for me to hit this line is something I really like. So I'm going to go Jets over 9.5. What I think Aaron Rodgers allows you to do, and you being Robert Saleh, is he allows you to concentrate on something that you're very, very good at, which is coaching defense. And
save that man's job.
And he keeps a Jets defense who last year was stellar. Again, let me remind you, Zach Wilson was 7-10 last year with the Jets. A defense that is stellar. Aaron Rodgers will allow them to be off the field for longer, which will allow them to be more rested and continue to be a spectacular defense. I think the New York Jets win this division at plus 190. And I'm not going to be afraid to sprinkle a little bit of pizza money on Super Bowl odds at plus 2,000.
Well, get your own take, bro. I'm going over 9.5. The line's fantastic. I'm betting the best defense in this division to ultimately win out. So I'm going to take over 9.5. Yes, to make the playoffs. And yes, to win the division. I will abstain from choosing the New York Jets to win the Super Bowl because that's the equivalent of picking the Dallas Cowboys to do it. I'm going to have to see it before I bet it. I'd rather miss the train. So that's no on the Super Bowl. Look, Nick said it best. This Jets defense was phenomenal last year. And we were talking about how they were holding teams under 20 points, and Zipper Zachy Will was getting the job done to get them 7 dubs. look, Aaron Rodgers could be hurt all season. As long as he suits up, they're going to be better. Mike Williams, if he gives them 70% of what he's got, they're going to be better because they didn't have a second guy besides that. Garrett Wilson should theoretically take the leap that everyone expects from him. Look, jury's still out. I'm not the most sold on Garrett Wilson. I think he's had a ton of targets, a ton of opportunity, and he hasn't quite delivered the numbers you'd expect from that opportunity. And everyone's like, well, his quarterback play. I was like, dude, DeAndre Hopkins played with. Does anyone know the hodgepodge of quarterbacks DeAndre Hopkins played with before they got Deshaun Watson?
John David Booty, John Skelton. Was he there for Josh Rosen?
No, you're naming Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins was with the Texans. So you're looking for Ryan Mallett, Ryan Griffin.
Right. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He probably played there. Ryan Fitzpatrick played everywhere. And DeAndre Hopkins still did special things. So, look, Garrett Wilson could prove me wrong, and he has the talent to do it. But I'm not as high on him as everyone else. I'm taking the Jets, though, in this division where I feel the Bills got worse. I feel the Dolphins got worse at O-line and defensively. And I don't trust Tua when the temperature drops below 72. He's a room temperature quarterback. And then Nevada, you already gave us yours, right? Yeah, that's right. You already gave us yours. Let's go ahead and get into the next team, Eric, if you want to give us the odds.
Yeah, so Miami finished second last year, 11-6. Super Bowl plus 2,200. Division odds plus 200. To make the playoffs, minus 155. To miss it, plus 135. And they also have a 9.5 over-under.
Man, these teams are going to be battling out. This is going to be one of those divisions that's fun to watch. Let's go ahead and get into the departures here. So, wide receiver, Robbie Chosen. Tight end, Tyler Kroft. Center, Connor Williams. Edge, Justin Houston. Edge, Melvin Ingram. Edge, Emmanuel Ogbah. Cornerback Eli Apple, cornerback Justin Bethel, cornerback Xavier Howard are all still free agents. And I actually think Robbie Chosen just signed with the 49ers, but it's probably just for camp. Let's go ahead and get into the additions. They added running backs Salvin Ahmed and Raheem Mostert. They added wide receivers Braxton Berrios, River Craycraft, Odell Beckham Jr., and Jalen Waddle. Or re-signed a majority of those. They added tight end Jody Fortson and Jonnu Smith. The legend that is Jonnu Smith continues to grow. They added tackles Drac Driscoll and Kendall Lamb, center Aaron Brewer, and offensive linemen Robert Jones and Isaiah Wynn. They added edge Shaq Barrett, defensive tackles Neville Gilmore, Jonathan Harris, Benito Jones, Tier Tart. They added D lineman Calais Campbell, Deshaun Hand, linebackers Jordan Brooks and Anthony Walker, cornerbacks Kendall Fuller and Nick Needham, safeties Marcus May and Jordan Poirier, and defensive backs Ciaran Neal and punter Jake Bailey. Nevada. You want to give us the schedule?
Gotcha. The Dolphins start in Jacksonville. Then they head up to Buffalo. They'll be home against Seattle. They will head into Tennessee. They'll be at home for the Patriots. A week 6 bye. Then they'll travel to Indianapolis. Then they will host the Cardinals. Then they have a 2-game road trip against Buffalo and then against the Rams. 2-game homestand against the Raiders and the Patriots. Thanksgiving Day, they go into Green Bay. Then they come home to play the Jets. Then they go to play Houston. Then they come home to play the 49ers. Then they go to Cleveland. And then they finish against the Jets in New York.
Bro. Dude, the NFL seems really balanced this year because every time I look at a schedule, I'm like, look at this hitter's row. Packers, Jets, Texans, 49ers, Browns, Jets. That's how they end the season with a week 6 bye and room temperature Tua.
Yeah. Three of those games are going to be cold.
Man. All right, Nevada, you want to give us your picks?
I will do that. Miami is the only major U.S. city that was founded by a woman. Let that sink in there for you.
No wonder there's
after seeing this basically from Thanksgiving on, the schedule, I'm changing my picks. The Jets will win the division.
Welcome
And
to the dark side.
Yeah. If they're going to win the division, they got to go over 9.5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last 6 games, I think they will at best go 2-4. So I could see something where it's between the Jets and the Dolphins leading into Thanksgiving. And then you get the cold weather games with Tua, not to mention just the pure talent that they have to go up against. I think they'll go 2-4 and slide out to like a 6 or 7 seed in the conference. I'll still give them playoffs because they're still a very high-powered offensive team. But so yeah, I'll go under 9.5 playoffs, no division.
Nick.
Yeah, I think you've both touched on it completely. I agree with you, Jermaine, that they lost a lot of people on the offensive line. I agree with you that Tua can't play below 72 degrees, and if you get him in the dome, if you combine those two, I'm also very, very concerned about Tua's durability. And we saw how well he could perform last year behind a good offensive line. Those 3 are gone. Right, the 3 offensive line guys that the Jets had. Where was it?
Connor Williams tore his knee last year.
Yeah, Robert Wilson is gone.
Robert joined the Panthers.
Yeah, and Andrew Van Ginkel. Those guys.
That's a D lineman, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
He can still play O-line. I'm concerned about Tua's durability. I'm concerned about Tua playing below 72 degrees. I still think the Dolphins are going to go over 9.5. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. And I already picked my division winner, but they're not winning the Super Bowl. And I completely agree with Nevada. They're going to fall somewhere down between 5 and 7, depending on how the rest of the AFC shakes out.
Yeah, they're a notoriously fast starting team. It's one of the better teams to bet spreads and money lines with during weeks 1 through 4. They have a different kind of speed on the field that's incredibly difficult to guard. I'm going to take Miami Dolphins. I'll take over 9.5. I think they win 10 games. I think yes, they make the playoffs, and then no to the following questions.
Question for you guys. Nick, you touched on it for Tua. Will he be the first and maybe only quarterback to wear the halo padding, something like that, on the helmets? Will he be the first one to do that in a game as far as quarterbacks are concerned due to his history of concussions? Jesus.
I would.
I think he should. If that's an option, yeah. Look, who cares what you look like? You want to be able to talk to people when you're 43.
Or play next year.
Yeah.
Fuck 43.
You want to see that $250 million contract through, right? Dude, if it helps in any way, shape, or form, he absolutely should. And so this Dolphins take that I have this year is one of those ones that I'm so nervous about because this Miami Dolphins team could also put it all together and just completely cook. And Tua could be in the MVP conversation because I know we're making fun of room temperature Tua because he struggles. Jared Goff is the same way. Jared Goff is awful against the blitz, awful on the road, and awful outside of a dome, right? Which is the same thing as on the road since the Lions have a dome. But he just got paid a crazy amount of money. I just think this take could really come back to haunt us with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike McDaniel. It's one of the ones I'm most nervous about.
So prove it.
Yeah, he led the league in passing yards last year. nobody talks about that.
You said about the Jets, so prove you can win in the cold then.
Yeah,
it was a joke last year and you couldn't do it.
My concern with the Dolphins as well is they beat up on bad teams. They're very much like the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys rarely beat good teams. They're always in the games with the good teams, and then they make one or two plays, and then boom, they're losing by 9. and that's my concern with the Dolphins is again, and so it's purely why I have the Jets as the division winner. Let's go ahead and get into the Patriots here.
So the Patriots finished 4th last year, 4-13. Their Super Bowl odds are plus 18,000. To win the division, plus 2,500. To make the playoffs is plus 900. To miss it is minus 1,800. And their line is set at 4.5.
4.5. Good Lord. Is that the lowest line of all the teams?
Tied.
Tied, okay.
I believe, yeah.
Tied with the New Orleans Saints?
No, I'm sorry. It is the lowest because Denver and Denver has second at 5.5.
Hell yeah.
All right. So departures for the New England Patriots. Mac Jones was traded to the Jaguars. Running back Ezekiel Elliott became the prodigal son for the Dallas Cowboys. Nick's dynasty team lost another person. Devontae Parker retired. Pharaoh Brown joined the Seahawks. Mike Gesicki joined the Bengals as well as Trent Brown. Connor McDermott, Riley Reif, Lawrence Guy, J.C. Jackson, and Adrian Phillips are all free agents. Matthew Slater, special teamer, also retired. You have Chris Board, the linebacker special teamer, joined the Ravens. Mac Wilson joined the Cardinals. Miles Bryant joined the Texans. And Jalen Mills joined the Giants. Additions to this New England Patriots squad. They added quarterbacks Jacoby Brissett and Dathan Rourke. They added running back Antonio Gibson and re-signed Ramondre Stevenson. They re-signed wide receiver Kendrick Bourne, added KJ Osborne and Jalen Reagor. They re-signed tight end Hunter Henry and added Austin Hooper and Mitchell Wilcox. They added O-lineman Mike Onwenu, Tyrone Wheatley Jr., Chukwuma Okorofor, edge Anthony Jennings and Josh Uche, defensive tackle Christian Barmore, D-lineman Armon Watts, linebackers Christian Ellis and Sion Takitaki, safeties Kyle Duggar and Jalen Hawkins, as kicker Joey Sly. Nevada, you want to get that schedule?
Week 1, they open up in Cincinnati, home for Seattle. Then they have 2 brutal away games, New York Jets, San Francisco. Then they come home to play the Dolphins and the Texans. Then they head out to play Jacksonville in Florida. Then they come home to play the Jets. Then they head out to play the Titans and Bears. Come home to host the Rams. Then they head down to South Beach to play Miami. They host the Colts first week of December, a week 14 bye. Then they have 2 away games in Arizona and Buffalo, and then 2 home games to finish it out, the Chargers and the Bills.
Holy shit.
Man, they may only win 1 game.
Dude.
Where do they play the Titans? In New England or in Tennessee?
In Tennessee.
They may not win any games.
That's the last place schedule. They're so fed up with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady that they just threw the hammer at the Patriots, dog.
So you're getting everybody's hardest game.
Yeah, they might be able to win week 2 hosting Seattle.
Dude, Patriots spread might be one of my favorite bets, dude.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness. Maybe they could beat the Seahawks. It's still a good football team.
I mean, it's early in the year, so you never know. But
the Patriots have the second hardest schedule.
Behind who?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Bro. The Patriots were a last place team. They won 4 games last year. Why is that schedule so hard?
This is the penance for all the Brady and Belichick years.
For all that goddamn cheating. All right, Nevada, give us your fact and then your take on the division.
The first documented paper speeding ticket was in Rhode Island in 1904 for a whopping 12 miles an hour.
Whoa.
Yeah, watch out.
now I'm getting tickets 12 miles over, dude.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about the schedule. I mean, that is, I want to, it's sometimes you look at schedules and you're like, oh, these 6 weeks is like a murderer's row. Their entire year is a murderer's row.
It's bad.
Even
the Bears are fantastic right now. You know what I mean?
They play late season Cardinals at New England.
Nope, in Arizona.
Maybe late. I'll give them maybe late season Cardinals.
No chance, dude. Division winner Cardinals, no chance.
The one you could see them maybe sneaking up on just because of the weather is week 17. They host the Chargers, so maybe you get a shit weather game, neutralizes talent. But I was going through the roster. I don't know where they have any talent. I mean, you talk about I guess Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry for your wide receiver weapons, and then Ramondre Stevenson as a running back. I sure, but he's not going to carry the team. He's not that kind of guy. Their defense they got a couple bright spots. Obviously, what's his name? Christian
Judon.
Well, I was going to say Christian Gonzalez coming back. Matthew Judon, I was curious if you guys think he might get traded. I mean, if your team is this desolate, he might be a trade deadline guy.
He's gonna get traded. He's not showing up. He's talking shit to the coaches. He's not making enough money. He's seen the schedule and he's seen the practices.
Yeah,
he's sitting out. He's like, it's only 6.5. I'll be fine.
Yeah, I think Patriots are in for a rough year, which I'm totally fine with. Let's get spicy. I'm going to go under 4.5 and no for everything.
Just give me the same thing, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, book me for that too. And I might even, Eric, is it possible that we can find a Patriots go defeated prop on DraftKings?
I think they have a winless one. Let me go see here real quick.
Yeah, and I'm willing to take that as well.
After looking at that schedule, Drake May should play 0 snaps this year.
0 games.
0 games.
Hey, Jacoby Brissett, congratulations. You'll start a whole season in the NFL.
But you weren't expecting 17 years and aged 9 season Jacoby Brissett.
What if Jacoby Brissett has like a Geno Smith?
With who? Geno Smith had DK entire locking, man.
What if?
I was going to say, do you guys think, just looking at the offensive side of the ball, could this be the lowest scoring team in the history? I don't know what that number is, but just looking at the weapons or lack thereof, I mean, they probably going to be averaging 13.5 points a game.
There's got to be some really bad offenses in existence, though. Like, we're historics. Go ahead, Derek.
So to go 0-17, there are 4 teams tied at plus 2,500. So it's New England, Denver, and Carolina. Now, to get the last winless team, New England was plus 500, Carolina's plus 800. There's a whole bunch of, but New England's to be the last winless team, plus 500, to go 0-17, plus 2,500, and to have the fewest wins is plus 320.
I'll take all of those.
Yeah, those are all good bets, dude.
I'll smash all of those.
Yo, last winless. Oh, man.
Jacoby Brissett, based on his Pro Football Reference profile, per a 17-game season, he has 2,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions.
That's like if you statted out a full.
Yeah.
That's about what he'll average with these weapons. I think that's holy crap. This team is going to be
28 sacks.
Yo, Nevada said in 1977 the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 7.4 points per game, 103 points. Now, Nevada, is that purely offensive scored points, or is that also like a safety and special teams? And
so this says the topic is lowest scoring offenses. It doesn't say if it includes defensive scores.
Okay.
But I mean, it's so low. I could do the math.
That's crazy. 100, dude. I can't say they'd break that record, Nevada.
But in 77, that's what they were doing 14 games at that point, maybe.
I think that's right.
Well, I mean, just
I don't know when the 16 game schedule started though.
103 divided by 7 would be about 14.
Yeah, they're doing 14 games. Yep, 14 games. The Buccaneers went 2-12. Yep.
I know they still got 2 wins at it. Patriots may not get any.
That's because they scored all their points in 2 games. They dropped 52 and 51 respectively in those 2 games.
That was
all right, Eric, my exact division order, I have Jets, Dolphins, Bills, Patriots. Can't believe I'm fading the Bills.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jets.
Your Jets, Miami, Buffalo, New England. So that is plus 600.
Book me for 2, bartender.
Okay. Nevada?
It's gonna be the same as all. This is gonna be a clean sweep. All right.
These schedules are no joke.
So
Yeah.
We have a couple divisions left. For the AFC, we only have one more, the AFC South. Nevada and Nick, you only have 1 playoff team remaining. Jermaine, you have 2 remaining from the AFC.
Perfect.
Yeah, I do think that the AFC South gets 2 teams this year. Which 2 teams? You won't know. Stay tuned.
So just to follow up on what we were talking about, the 1977 Tampa Bay Buccaneers scored 0 points 6 times. They scored, not counting those 0 games, they scored below 7 points or below 4 other times.
Oh.
And then they had 4 games of 23, 10, 33,
Ooh.
and 17.
All while rocking those creamsicle uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. I tell you what.
Absolutely bonkers.
There was
bonkers.
There was only 1 game where they threw for over 200 yards. In that game, they lost 23-30 because their quarterback threw 4 interceptions. That's not the first game that their quarterbacks threw 4 interceptions. They did that twice. If we're tracking number of multi-interception games, they only had 4 games where they didn't throw multiple interceptions.
My God. Nick is the offensive coordinator and quarterback on those teams.
They also lost to the Redskins 10-0. They gained 39 yards through the air and were sacked 9 times or 10 times for 99 yards.
Almost a football field.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Suck at Patriots fans.
If you're asking me, Nick, that sounds awful. That's in their 28 attempts, that's about one net yard per attempt. But they actually averaged, when they lost to the Falcons 17-0 in week 11, they averaged 0.6 net yards per attempt because they got sacked 4 times for 39 yards.
The Patriots won't be this bad. I'll bank on it. The Patriots won't be this bad.
Can we find that bet, Eric? Will they be as bad as the 1977 Buccaneers?
There should just be a standing bet every year, dude. You guys got anything else for the 10s and 10s?
Nothing else for me. Thanks for having me, guys.
Real quick.
Oh, that's right.
We got a new Nick Time Suck Parlay working for August. Would we like to recap our latest endeavor?
I wouldn't. I'm not thrilled.
Eric, you had U.S. men's basketball to win gold, correct?
No, just to beat Serbia. It was minus 600 to beat Serbia.
It was gold. It was minus 600 for gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They almost lost it against Serbia.
They did.
How many bullets were you sweating, Eric?
Oh, it was a wave of emotions.
Said so calmly.
Cussing out Joker pretty hard there until the 4th.
Well, there was a moment where I thought there was going to be vindication for some misappropriated comments I had said, and then
misappropriate,
then I just got mad because I was like, well, fucking USA basketball, LeBron's a bitch, and then I was happy again because we won. So it was definitely a wave of emotions.
He was rooting against his parlay just to feel vindicated about them not gold medaling.
Misappropriated comments.
You said it and you meant it, and I was like, have you seen the roster?
Jermaine, you had France to win gold medal and both teams to score. It started out fantastic. It then got way bad.
It got ugly real quick. I wasn't watching initially. I saw 1-0. I was like, okay, all right, we're up. We're good. We're working. It's early. Go ahead, Dick.
Well, so both teams did score very quickly after that, and then Spain tacked on 2 more. So it was 3-1 Spain. Then France kind of came back, made it 3-2. Then France scored again to make it 3-3 on a penalty in the 95th minute, I believe. Right? Penalty awarded 95th minute. They had to go to VAR. So we're thinking, hey, man, fun game to watch. Unfortunately, Jermaine's bet is not going to win. Spain drives the ball down. Excellent touch by the Spanish attacker. Smashes it off the crossbar. I'm like, oh, this is in. Smashes it off the crossbar. France goes down. The referee is refusing to blow the whistle to everyone in this group's delight. France drives down, gets a corner, and sets up. And they drop this ball in the 6-yard box at the feet of this French attacker who couldn't get a single touch on it. Instead, just kind of humped the ball to the keeper. And the game went into extras, in which the Spanish national team won the gold medal. But how close was that?
That ending was electric, bro. France had so many opportunities and extras. And I was just like, we just need one. We just need one. Oh, should have went Spain, dude.
Spain.
I can't root for Spain, man. Like you motherfuckers at the Euro root for Spain. Yeah, let's root for the dynasty. They have like all the trophies right now.
Are you talking about the final?
Yeah, the final, right?
Of course, always over England.
No chance. They have every trophy right now.
Not the Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
The amount of times, after I know you guys talked about it in your Olympic thing, but the amount of times I screamed football's coming home after we won was just ridiculous. Because the gold medal's back where it belongs, baby.
Way to get it done, ladies. Way to get it done.
Took a trip around. Nevada picked Nevada, clinched the parlay with picking the Norwegian? Swedish beach volleyball pair who kind of didn't really face any opposition. I didn't watch any of their like quarterfinal or like seeding matches. I just looked at the scores and they didn't look like they were fazed by anything. I watched the semifinal and the final match and they were just.
Well, they got upset in group play by Qatar, which they're also really good, but that kind of woke them up, and they've been ranked either number 1 or number 2 all year. So
Easy bet.
I wanted U.S. women's national team, but they didn't have the odds up.
Bummer.
What a hit, boys. They were plus 100.
We'll try next month.
Yeah, because luckily Nick's always late.
Follow
us on Instagram. Sorry, Nevada. What was that?
We got some seed money.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Podcast Room303. Follow our sister pod, Revenge of the Pod, on all things social. For myself, Jermaine Colominus, for my co-host, Nicholas Morahan, for our producers, the EPE and Nevada Putnam. We'll see you next time when you come on down and step into the room.